Hi guys, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Mr. Chintan Mehta, who is the CEO of AHI Insurance Brokers, one of the fastest growing IRD approved insurance companies in India. Chintan has more than 20 years of experience into insurance industry, having worked for companies such as IAFL and Sriram General Insurance before starting his own venture. So, hi Chintan, welcome to Entrepreneur Lounge of India.
Hi, Priyaranjan. Good to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
Uh,
Excited to talk to you.
Chintan, would you mind introducing yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chintan Mehta, and I'm CEO and Principal Officer for AHI Insurance Brokers, based out of Mumbai. And we are into insurance broking. Since last 2 years, this company started in 2018, and we are one of the fastest growing in this field. 2018, we were one of the top 10 most promising insurance startups. In 2019, we were recommended as the broker of the year, as well as 10 most recommended insurance solutions provider. So this is what we have been.
Right. Chintan, tell us a bit about what is AHI Insurance Brokers about? What are the services offered by it, and what is the size of the company in terms of employee strength?
We are around 80-85 people team currently, and we deal into insurance broking, as you know, and anything and everything into insurance, be it life insurance, health and mediclaim part of it, or the general insurance where motor is the predominant business in the non-life space, but motor or you name it, factory insurance or office insurance or anything, we deal everything and anything into insurance. Our specialties lies in the high-end premium car. We are, you can say, we are one of the top 5 insurance brokers to deal into premium car segment.
Okay.
And how we are different from others is we don't fight to be, or we don't say that we are L1 in the game. But insurance is not about the price. Insurance is always about the service. That's how that's a misunderstanding, misconception in India that everything is driven by price. No, insurance doesn't work that way. Insurance is a piece of paper, a promise given to you against the money you pay, and then the promise has to be delivered. You can buy the cheapest plan, but then who will honor that promise? So we are in the space where we assure that next 365 days, because most the insurance policies are for 1 year. So next 365 days, we are going to be there to assist you, to guide you 24/7. And we tell our customers that every ethical and genuine claim, we are there to support you, because ultimately as a broker, we represent the client. We don't represent the insurance company. We don't sell that product. We assist our customers to get the best product from whichever company they are.
Okay.
So that's where we are different from others. We take pride in taking care of the customer for next 365 days. That's how we stand different than others.
Right. I think that is a very interesting point you made. In India, people generally believe that price is a key factor which dominates in the market. Whoever offers the L1 price, he is the biggest player in India, especially in industries such as insurance, where the margin is so low. The price is a big factor. So, Chintan, I would like to know, how did you think of getting into such a industry which is so competitive, and I think there is a lot of regulatory restraints and entry barriers as well. How and why did you think of getting into such a space? Also, how did you how do you compete against the big players? I think there are hundreds of very big players in the space, right?
So let me break your question into two. One is how I entered into this industry.
Hmm.
Very honestly, it was by chance. It was not a choice. I started my career with international business development and worked for almost 6-7 years into various countries.
Hmm.
I have been Singapore, then I was in Thailand for some time, then in UK for some time where I was managing business into Britain, France, and Switzerland. Then I worked for a short while in Africa also, based out of Ghana, where I was covering around 12 to 15 countries of that region. And somehow after 6-7 years, it was like, India calling. So I came back to India, and there was nothing else to do. I wanted to restart my career from scratch, and somehow suddenly insurance happened. So when I came into insurance, it was a very new field for me because in international market I was doing something else, and now here I was in financial industry, BFSI space,
Right.
where I had to learn everything from scratch.
Okay.
So when I started, you can say I was a bit late into this industry because 6-7 years of my professional life were into some other thing. Though I gained a lot of experience there, but technical, the product knowledge was missing. So here I came into insurance. I learned, I struggled a lot because insurance is all about the product knowledge. So, and as you already mentioned that it's a highly competitive space. So first few years were like extremely strugglers. I used to start my day I live in Mumbai. We have almost 2 hours of commute time.
Right.
One side. Right. So I used to start my day. I used to leave home at around 7:15. Reach office by 9. Learn insurance. Go and meet people. Interact with them. Interaction gives you more and more knowledge. Then some questions of customers you may or may not know it to be precise. Then come back to office, learn it from your seniors, get your that customers' queries, get answers to them, and then go back and answer again. So this is how that cycle happened. They used to start at 7 and then take around 9, 10, 11. And as you are moving as in a sales, you are moving throughout the day. So after coming back home, you have hundreds of mails to answer.
Right.
So they used to end at around 11:30, 12, and that kind of stuff. So initial years were struggling, a lot of struggle, but then that's what you learn. And as you mentioned, that if this is the space, you have to be very agile. You should be knowing the product very well, and you should create your niche space. And that is how when we started of broking, we started that if a people, you want them to value your services, you can't serve smaller ticket size. As I mentioned earlier, then motor is a highly competitive space, and there we started that we should have our niche presence there, and certain segments only should be focused. So premium car segment, let's say BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Jaguar, Land Rover, and all those kinds. In that space, you can say that we are one of the biggest. Their ticket size is there. Customers, they understand the value of your product, what you are offering, and they are ready to pay the price for it. So that's where that niche area we entered into, and there we have created our own space in this whatever small little time we have been working.
Right. So now would also dive deep into the initial days, since you mentioned your first 2 years were very difficult when you were just starting out. So every day I meet entrepreneurs who are who entered into such a space where the initial hurdle or initial investment is also not too big. You start a internet based venture. Everything is ready made available. You just have to pick your tools and get started. You have an idea, you execute it. But that is not the same when you get into a space such as insurance, right? So the biggest hurdle what I feel from here is finding promoters or investors to back your venture, because it's an expensive industry as well to be in, right? So
So
can
here I was, you can say, yeah, here you can say I got lucky to find a good business house
hmm,
who valued my proposition.
hmm, right.
So AHI Group is promoted by Mariwala family.
Hmm,
So I got them to back my idea or back my venture, and that's how it happened. So yes, it is very difficult to find right people to back your dream or back your passion, what you are into.
right.
But I think it's, if once you get it, once you get the kind of people who you want to be with,
Hmm,
then there is no looking back.
right. Right. So here comes my next question. When you started pursuing your venture, how was your financial runway? I think the initial days when you did not have the financial backing, you would have invested money from your own pocket. Also, you would be spending money for your survival. How did you manage that period in terms of the finance?
As I mentioned, I was lucky here. I have not struggled that hard because I got the promoters who in very initial days who
Hmm,
valued my what you call talent or the knowledge what I had.
okay.
So that typical entrepreneurship struggle I have not gone through. You can say I was lucky because I had before starting off I had almost 8, 9, 10 years of experience.
Hmm,
So that experience of a decade maybe helped me to overcome that situation, the real trouble which any entrepreneur gets in their life.
right.
That
The
phase I was kind of lucky,
hmm,
but
right. So here comes my next question. So how did you recruit or find your team? Or what was the process behind it? So team would include your partners, co-founders, and the people, juniors who are working with you. How did you recruit them?
the team you build along. Team is one is your impression is your team.
Hmm, hmm,
So when we started initially, it was tough. You trust some people, somehow it may or may not turn well. But my idea or what I learned while working with a very good group, you can say, very huge and very prestigious group called Sri Ram. So when I worked with them, I knew that you need, as a promoter or as a business leader, you should be trusting your team. If you give enough freedom to your team, they will be there for you. So whenever I recruit people or whoever I have been working with, we give complete space to everyone to grow. And whenever you are putting up some new vertical or getting into some new business line rather, trust your own people. Instead of finding someone from outside to do the job, promote a young talent promote someone within the team, and then back him up with whatever best you have. This is how I have been building my team. I can say people are there in my team who have been with me for a really long time.
Right.
So trusting people, nurturing their talent, giving them enough space to grow, and allowing them to make mistakes is a true leadership. Because it might sometimes they might make some blunders, but you have to live with it. You have to take it with a happy face, back them up, cheer them up. That's how they become a better you.
Right. Very, very interesting point. Your team is your extension. Very interesting. So, based on what you dreamed initially, what you had planned initially, how far have you reached in terms of milestones, and what is your end goal? What is your vision?
Very interesting. What I dreamt is to create a legacy, to create something which is known, which is different, which no one has done it so far. I think I'm on the way to it. How far it will take or how long it will take to reach the milestone or reach the end goal, reach the destiny is not in my hand to say, but I am an eternal optimist. I slog every day. Every morning I start with a positivity, go out in the field, meet people, be with the team, do whatever it takes to be the man you want to be. So yes, you can say some milestones.
Right.
I would have achieved, but it's all grace of God. I think I'm an eternal student. So I'm learning insurance every day, and no one is perfect. So I'm also I'll have all my problems as well. So with all these things, you have to go out, learn, try to implement good things. Sometimes you fail, accept your mistakes, learn from it, and again you start being a better person or being setting up a better ideal for your team.
Right. So Chintan, not every day we get people from insurance industry. Even though we would have someone who is into a marketplace of insurance or something related to internet. But since you are from the core insurance background, may I ask what are the few things or few interesting things that nobody knows about the insurance industry? So what I am asking is in terms of opportunities, what young entrepreneurs can explore in insurance industry, which nobody is because of the traditionality of the industry.
The insurance is, I can say, very misunderstood commodity or platform, you can say. It's a field where tremendous opportunities are there. Our penetration is India, we are 130 crore people, 1.3 billion people, and not even 10% are insured. So it's a humongous space to be in. Why young people are not joining is maybe this is a push product, not a pull. You have to push someone to buy insurance because no one wants to talk about death. Right? When you sell life insurance, you are selling them what happens if they die.
Right.
So those are the things which no one likes to discuss, but that's the hard reality of life. Everyone has to face it. So it's a tough space to be into, but humongous opportunities. As I already said, penetration is too low. And with this kind of penetration, less than 10% penetration, the general insurance space is more than 1 lakh, you can say, 1,60,000 odd crores is a yearly premium.
Okay.
So you just think about the space. How big is the space? And yearly it's growing at around 12 to 15%. So it's a huge space, growing at a phenomenal rate. And the pandemic-like situation, what we are facing right now, gives a boost. The health and death,
right,
which no one likes to discuss. Today, everyone is talking about their health, their family's well-being, and everything. Other thing is, it's a social service space. I work with Mr. R. Tyagarajan, who is the founder and promoter of Shriram Group. He always tells that we are into a social service business. And by doing this business, if we make a wafer thin margin, 1 or 2%, it's not bad. And that's what I tell my team every time, that we are not selling, we are advising. We are trying to help every individual out there to have a right plan, right product. God forbid, if anything goes wrong with their life or health or their asset, insurance will be a boon. So it's a commercial business with a social service aspect to it, and growing at a phenomenal rate. So it's the space where every young person should be into, or should look forward to. Though it's a bit difficult, as I said, it's a push product.
Right.
But then that space has their own charm.
Right. So here comes my next question. Who's your role model, or who inspires you when it comes to entrepreneurship?
There are so many people. There are so many people who has inspired me throughout my life in terms of entrepreneurs. If you say one person, if you want to name it, I'll say Mr. Narayan Murthy.
Okay. Okay.
Other is Mr. Azim Premji. Mr. R. Tyagarajan, which I already mentioned, of Shriram Group. These are the people, I think they have lived for the society. The legacy which they build and the selflessness what they have in their lives is phenomenal.
Right. And can you tell us what are the things, what are the particular aspects of these personalities you like the most, and how it has impacted your life?
Mr. Narayan Murthy, he has been into the space where money was never an issue. Even after earning millions and billions of rupees, the humility what he has is extraordinary. If I have to talk about insurance, which is my field, and Mr. Tyagarajan, he is a businessman, should think about all the stakeholders. That's what has inspired me, about Mr. Tyagarajan. See, insurance is always reinsured. Insurance, your risk. Insurance company takes risk from the client, and ultimately they hedge their risk to some international market. If you see traditionally in India, every reinsurance, the foreign players are suffering, they are bleeding. I've learned from Mr. R. Tyagarajan that every stakeholder in the game should make money. Okay. Your reinsurance partner should earn from your business. Your vendors and service providers, even you should allow them to have their own margin to survive. Because if it's only you who is making money and all the stakeholders around it, if they are not happy with you, ultimately your brand is not going to help others. So these are the things, like, very, very touchy. And the Mariwala Group, which I am working with, who are my promoters currently, business ethics is what you learn from them. 100-year plus old family business and clean image, never ethically wrong, never a step wrong in that space. Always focused, always legally, ethically right, and no kind of margin or no kind of business where you have to do something out of the way. They will not let you get into.
Right.
These are the people, then these are the qualities which I try and learn from them. Hope I have been able to bring into my working style.
So then my next question, almost 2 questions left. How would you compare entrepreneurship with a 9 to 5 job? I think you have been to both sides of the game. How would you compare both of these things?
See, if you want to live your life, you are content with whatever you have, whatever God has given you, you should be in 9 to 5 job. If you are passionate for something, if you want to go out and prove the world that you can do something better, you can change the rule of the game, you should be into entrepreneurship. You should be building something. And it has to be as per your interest. Not necessarily that particular field only you should be doing it, but whatever you do, if you want to change the dynamics of it, you should be into it.
Right. And
but believe me, it's not a easy space to be into. In terms of personal life, you have to sacrifice so many things. It's a tough toll when it comes to your family life.
That is what I hear a lot from all the entrepreneurs. It is tough. It is very. It will demand a lot of commitment, time, and energy. That is for sure. It's not the faint-hearted, I would say.
Yeah, it's not a place for the faint-hearted.
Right. On that note, I think we are almost up, Chintan. My last question: what is your final message to potential entrepreneurs of this country?
Potential entrepreneurs. India is a growing country. India is a huge country, and there is so many things to be done. We are still on a very nascent stage in so many areas. So if a young friends of mine, if you think that you have something in you to offer to the world, no better time than this, and no better time to be an entrepreneur. So it's go out and, as someone said, that go win the world. We have everything required. It's the right time, and if you have a good idea, there are people to back you. So finance is not an issue. Right idea or right kind of people will get the support they require. You have to be true to yourself. If you are true to yourself, you believe in yourself and your product which you are offering, then there should be no looking back. But yes, you have to give your 100%, not even 99%. You should be ready to sacrifice everything you have. Every minute you should leave the project. As I say, I leave insurance 24/7. If you wake me up at 4 in the morning, I'll be thinking about my business. Even at the time of going to bed, I'll be thinking that what first thing I have to do in the morning, which I could not complete today. So if you have that kind of passion, that kind of energy, that kind of zeal into you, then believe me, there is no looking back for you.
Right.
That's my message. Go out, go whatever you have to do, dream big, be true to yourself. And if you are ethically right in your ideas, your thoughts, world will back you up.
I think that was a very lovely message, Mr. Chintan. Well, it was a pleasure to have you here at ELI. I think our audience would have got lifetime lessons from this video. Thanks for your time, Mr.
Thank you.
Chintan, and our best wishes for it.
Thank you, Priya Ranjan, and good wishes, best wishes to your ELI. It's a very nice initiative, and hope you grow in multifold. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Viewers, you can follow and connect with Mr. Chintan on LinkedIn by searching for Chintan P. Mehta. Also to visit the website of AHI Insurance by typing ahiinsure.co. So whom do you want to have here at ELI for next episodes? Do let me know in comments below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back before you know it. Stay tuned to Entrepreneur Launch of India.